Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 6815 Southeast 86th Avenue here in Portland, located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. We are just to the left of the front doorway. Big 4-inch cast iron cleanout sticks out of the ground here, you can't miss it. And just out from it about 5 feet, you'll see a smaller ABS cleanout. If you pop that open, you'll notice there's standing water at the bottom of it. That is indicative of a, oh man, there's a lot of scale in this thing. That's indicative of a storm system that ties into a sewer line. What that is a gas trap, just like you have under your sink. You have a little U-bend there that holds water in it all the time. That's to prevent sewer gas from venting into your house. So anytime you have a storm system tied in, same thing will happen. It's unique to this type of system. You'll have a trap inside of it. Anyway, we're checking the overall condition, serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We are zeroed out. Water is running. Off we go here. Line transitions right up ahead to 4-inch ABS plastic. This tie-in, you're going to see right here. It's on the it's top of the screen right now, which is in reality the left side of the pipe. Or I guess in this case, if you're staring at the house from the street, it's actually coming into the right side of the sewer line. Left side as you make your way out. And that right there is a spotless clean flow line. That is precisely how you want your sewer line to look right there. Little stringies at the top of the pipe are just cobwebs. What makes your line this clean and keeps it this clean is essentially one main living habit, and that is not putting greases, fats, and oils down your kitchen sink drain. All that stringy stuff over top the camera head right now, those are all cobwebs, by the way, not roots. Transitioning here over to 6-inch PVC pipe now. After almost 25,000 inspections and a lot of drain cleaning I've done over the years, I have become a very big stickler on grease buildup. It is a huge contributing factor to a lot of blockages that occur, and a lot that would likely have never happened were it not for grease. Turns your line into a sticky mess. Causes debris to hang up that otherwise wouldn't. And when you do get blockages, they're a lot less likely to break loose on their own naturally. That basically causes the blockage to adhere to the pipe wall. It can withstand a lot more head pressure building up behind it. So that right there is the main at about 52 feet. I'm going to pull up just to the top of the drop here to get a better locate. Pretty steep running line out there, but fabulous looking sewer line so far. Superbly clean. There's hardly a thing about this thing I can nitpick. Anyway, we're going to go shut the water off, let the line drain out. We'll have a better look here in just a second. Alrighty, line terminates out on Southeast 86th Avenue. The line here essentially runs, if not literally runs dead straight from the cleanout all the way to the main, which is an ideal configuration. The only turns this line has in it are vertical drops, that's it. Horizontal turns, they're the most likely place in an otherwise perfectly good sewer line to get a blockage. Anytime you have a turn, it's just a natural pinch point where things slow down. So it's very rare to get a sewer line that runs straight like this. And whoever installed this did a nice job doing it. Usually when you get these straighter runs, this thing dives like crazy. A lot of houses out here on this street, maybe not, but a lot of them probably do have basements, which requires a very deep main lateral. When your line's coming out of a house that's 7 feet deep already, where this house is just a crawl space. So a lot of times when you get a line in it that it has to dive really deep in a short span of pipe, you get a lazy installer that'll run the line right at 1/4 inch per foot, and then they'll do a nose dive right about where the curb is at. And you almost or somewhere on the property to level off with the main or the stub coming out of the street. And you almost always end up with a belly in it or an offset joint. So this was a very well installed sewer line. You don't see as much work done. This was done a little while back. This expertise sadly is going away. PVC pipe that looks great. Most, if not all of that PVC will fall into city responsibility. Either way, it looks great. So I know we were just talking about grease inside the house. The rule of thumb I tell most people to live by, if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans, that this is when the pan is hot. If you were to turn that pan sideways, If there's enough on there that it runs off the pan or flows off of it and beads or worse, that's when you want to do something about it. Pour it into a jar while it's still liquid, and or let it cool down. Scrape it off into a garbage can or wipe it out with a paper towel. If you've got a thin little coating of PAM spray, you know, ideally none gets down the line, but if you've got a minimal amount like that, hot water and soap does the job quite effectively for that scenario. One of the keys to helping make sure that it doesn't get built up in the line if some gets down there, always use hot water and soap, but keep your hot water running for about 30 seconds to a minute after your last dish was washed. That helps to ensure that anything that did get down line remains melted and emulsified until it gets to the main, or at least a good distance from the home. When this through the interior of the home, you know, a lot of times that hot water stays toasty and keeps things clean. The moment that pipe hits the outside where it's buried underground, it cools off rapidly. So you'll get a lot of buildup that occurs immediately outside the house for that reason. So just use that hot water to your advantage. We have great flow end to end here. All the pipe we just scoped there is in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time. The cast iron we just scoped there is also in good shape. You had some scale buildup in the clean out access. My guess is at some point, given the kind of foliage in this yard and what would have originally been here was concrete pipe, the line was probably just blasted with root intrusions and probably led to a backup at some point in the past, if not multiple. When you get backups that go shooting up that clean out and cast iron, it'll often create scale buildup. So a little bit of rust flake dropped into the pipe there. As you can see, as we pulled back in, parts and pieces of it were breaking loose. Now that my camera's out of the sewer line, that stuff can easily and readily start moving on its way there. But otherwise, the cast iron line itself, not the clean out, but the sewer itself, that stuff was in good condition there. Very good shape for its age. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.